What's going on, everyone? I am the Guilty Cajun. Welcome back to my channel, and it's time. It's time to talk about Starfield. Now, what on earth is there to talk about? Could it possibly be? I'm not going to sit there and talk about the rant, the massive popular rant that's been going around for the past week, happened last weekend, and how, or even the other channels that have been focusing on the catalyst for said rant instead of what the rant was actually about and the ideological nonsense, the bullshit that has been pervertedly bastardizing and invading all walks, all corners of entertainment. No, this one's going to be far more entertaining because, my goodness, when you want to talk about a reach and a half, it's another situation where you simply cannot do anything to please these people. And by these people, I'm talking about the jacktivists on Twitter, the jacktivists on social media, because if you bend the knee once, you must bend the knee every single time. So it's just going to suit you even better to not bend the knee at all. And this lovely little Twitter post, or X post. I can't use X. That sounds so nasty. Jonathan Blow. Now, who is Jonathan Blow? We're going to get into who this gentleman is. Or did I misgender him? I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. But anyway, let's get on with it. So, the weird thing about Starfield is most of the player base is male. Well, you're assuming a lot of things. Anyway. But because of year 2023 ideas of equality, half the space pirates are women. Except you don't even want to mention something I've noticed while I'm playing Starfield. I'm having a fantastic time. I should probably check how many hours I've gone into it. Easily 50. I'm going to go with 50. I'm going to double check that and put it in the comments later. But a vast majority, it's definitely not 50-50. It's not half. It's well more than half of the NPCs that I've encountered that are in charge. Whether it's military, corporate, the mining company, the first character, your boss, is female. Now, do I have a problem with this? No. It's just a funny little thing that you notice as you're playing a game. Does it take me out of the world? No, not really. I'm more interested in the gameplay, the story. Is it fun? And I think it's fun. I'm having a blast. Anyway, I'm not going to get off on that tangent. I think it's fun. You don't have to. That's fine. I'm more interested in this window licker. So, half the evil space pirates are women. Okay. The result is a game where dudes fly around the galaxy fictionally doing violence to many, many women. And it feels icky. What? So, what you're saying is that Starfield, Bethesda, took a video game and made the demographic more inclusive than possibly reality. I mean, how many pirates did they have? How many female pirates did the East India Trading Company have to deal with way back when? I'm pretty sure it wasn't 50-50 men and women. Sure, there were quite a few female pirates on the high seas back in those days, but the ratio was not equal. But now, Bethesda has done the virtuous thing and checked that box and gotten the ladies all the equality that they deserve in a video game. Did I mention this was a video game? But no, because these pirates attack you and you respond accordingly and take their loot, because that's what you do in a video game. They're the pixels. It's a video game. It's fiction. But nope, if you do it, it's icky. Jonathan Blow continues. The combat, which is a huge part of the game, no, you don't actually have to fight a lot of you can pay the ransom, pay the bounty, or whatever, and be broke. So no, combat is not a huge part of the game. But hey, what do I know? I've only been playing for 50-60 hours. A huge part of the game is iterating on the kind of power fantasy games have done for a long time. These games cater to what their designers believe is an impulse in the player base to be powerful and victorious. Usually, this has been dude-on-dude fights. You have so many people, such as, we'll use Anita Sarkeesian in Feminist Frequency, which shut down Think, and there was much rejoicing, have championed the idea that there should be more female representation in video games. And here we have Starfield, which does exactly that. More female representation. But that's not good enough. That's not good enough, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guardians of all ages. Sorry, Joker, I stole it. It's not good enough because you're not supposed to fight them. You're not supposed to kill them. Because if you treat them like any other NPC that you do in the game, well, that's just icky. Who the hell uses words like icky? But, he continues, by spinning it this way, the designers are implicitly saying that they think their players have this kind of violent fantasy oriented towards women. My goodness, what do you think of people, Mr. Jonathan Blow? Unfortunate last name there. That's what you do? Society would regard this as sick if stated explicitly, but because it's implicit, this mistake was somehow made. By the way, I don't want this to come across as a blanket diss of Starfield, even though that's what you're doing. I think it's an impressive feat of organization and production to get this game shipped. They spent an extra year on it to polish it off. And even then, it's not a buggy mess. It's the least buggy Bethesda game, but that's like saying it's the least smelly turd in the box, but in the kitty litter. The more you know how the sausage is made, the more you can appreciate those things. I enjoyed many. I forgot to click the rest of his nonsense. Now, who is Mr. Jonathan Blow? Well, designer, programmer of Braid and the Witness, President Thelka, partner of Indie Fund, working on good things. Except you're going to sit there and give such a absolutely nonsensically moronic statement such as this, and then end it with, it just feels icky. Yes, I'm making fun of him. Of course I'm going to make fun of him. We point and laugh at people like this. These people, these agenda-filled, virtue-signaling jacktivists who want to get online. Again, I've talked about this before. I say it, I repeat myself. I'm sorry. Not sorry. You wake up in the morning and you look, you hunt, you search for something to be upset about, and personally, I'll never understand it. There's so many different videos, so many more videos that I could make. I could follow the trends, I could follow this, that, and the other, but I'm not going to make a video on something that I couldn't give two shits about. Starfield, I care about. I'm having fun with the game. And nonsensical agenda-filled politics like this irritate me. Inserting politics or any sort of ideology into a video game irritates me, because when particular groups do it, like Anita Sarkeesian, when they do it, it's at the detriment of the story, of the gameplay, of the mechanics, and that is where I will always have a problem. You want to put pronouns in your game? I couldn't give a shit. If you want to put they, them in your game to help a minority of the population, and it is a minority whether you like it or not, you want to help them feel included? Sure. I see Starfield's pronoun selection. You don't. It doesn't force you to select. It picks it for you. You pick your body type, which a lot of people have a problem with. Instead of male and female, you pick a body type. I understand people consider that to be a massive red flag on where could the industry be going next. I understand that completely, and I agree. It can be a red flag, which is why I wait to see what the finished product is like. And if that sort of ideology isn't rammed down everyone's throats in a preachy, nonsensical way, well, then I just move on to the next thing to judge and point at, perhaps, and laugh. I do not believe Starfield did that at this time. Cyberpunk 2077 did that in a similar fashion. They avoided pronouns altogether by simply calling your character V, whether you were male or female. They did not use the male or female. They used the body type. Did they use body type A and body type B? That's mildly irritating, but not enough for me to turn away from a game. Hogwarts Legacy did it even worse. They didn't even let you select pronouns, regardless of what body type you chose. They did they, them. What helped those get... Well, I guess Cyberpunk's not a good example because of the dumpster fire that release was, but I had fun with the game, even though it crashed every 2 hours. Gameplay matters more than this. Story matters more than this. But do not ignore it. I would not ignore it. Treat it as a red flag, a cautionary tale, so to speak. To maybe keep that in the back of your mind as you're playing the game, as you're judging it. Look for different other context clues, not just they, them pronoun selection. And it's not necessarily the pronoun. It's the – preferred pronouns that a lot of people have problem with. Some people feel as if it is forced dialogue. That's not the term for it, but I hope you understand what I mean. I'm not preaching one way or another. Everyone is free to make their own choices. What I'm doing here is laughing at the idea that a game company decided to make the genders more equal, or as some would consider more equal across the board when it comes to NPCs. And Mr. Jonathan Blow decided to say that, no, it's a problem because, yes, we want equality in video games. We want more representation in video games. But heaven forbid you treat the evil NPCs that openly attack you while you're out in space, treat them equally, whether or not they are male or female. This is the nonsense that I will speak out against, always and forever, because it is nonsense. This is the nonsense I would never put up with. You point, you laugh, you make fun of them. Let's get back to doing that. Maybe shaming these sort of foolish sensibilities? Sentiments, that's the word. Because, again, when it all boils down to it, it's pixels. It's a video game set in the far future. We use these, as put it, this is our escapism. Make escapism great again. Let's do that and get away from the preachy, nonsensical, bad writing that's been forced down our throats in other parts of the entertainment. Leave video games alone. Just make a good video game, and the gamers will respond in kind and throw money at you. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike, and if you do me such a great, grand old favor, if you actually enjoy some of the nonsense I spew about, hit that subscribe button. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.